Okay, so we're going to look at this Flipbook and fill it in. This is page 6, Don't Call Me After Midnight, Solving Multi-Step Equations Flipbook. The reason it says Don't Call Me After Midnight, it's an acronym. It's to remind you that when you have a multi-step equation, you do have an order to follow in order to solve it. We're not doing 1 and 2 step anymore. Now we're doing 4, 5, 6 step. So the very first thing, the way this Flipbook works is if you'll open up the title flap, you will see step 1. Each page is simply one line. Then the next flap will show you where our work should be on that step, and then we do the next line. Okay, so when you are solving multi-step equations, the first thing you do is check for anything that needs to be distributed. It's like me distributing papers, right? You're passing out to everybody in the room. If you're distributing a number, it means you're multiplying it to everything in the parentheses right after it. And you have to do that here and here. What number is this? There's an understood -1 right there. So in this gap of space, we're going to write what we get when we distribute the 4 and distribute the -1. You're going to write what you get right here. Okay, so do that now. So when you distribute the 4, you're going to multiply it by 2y plus 3. So you get 8y plus 12. Does the 4 multiply with the -2y?
No.
No. So be careful. Don't start just multiplying everything. When you're multiplying -1 by anything, it just changes the what? The sign. So this would be -3y plus 1. Does the 29 change?
No.
No. All right, so this is what you should have, right? Okay, open the next flap. You will notice that it shows you this problem we started with. Then it shows the line that we just produced ourselves. And now we're looking at what the next process is, which is combining like terms. There is a trick here. And the trick is that you're only looking to do that with the ones that are on the same side. So it might help to draw your line to compartmentalize your left and your right. On the left side, look for any like terms to combine. On the right side, look for like terms to combine. When we say like terms, we mean that this 8 has a y next to it. This 12 does not. That means they're not like terms. But this -2 has a y, which means it's a like term with the 8. And that's what you can combine by simply looking at the coefficients. 8 minus 2 is 6. You do carry the y right next to it and bring down plus 12. Then you come over here to the right-hand side. What are the like terms over here?
1.
The 1 and the 29. So it would be -3y plus 30. So we distributed, we combined any like terms that were on the same side. Open the next flap. Now you're going to start moving things from one side to the other. This is where you may go a different route than your neighbor when I turn you loose with like practice problems. For this one, I want you to move the variable. Some people move the numbers first, and then they move the variable. It does not matter what you move first, as long as you're doing it correctly. We're going to move the variable. So this is the line we're at. We're going to consolidate our variables. We've got one here and one over here on the other side. You can move whichever one you want. You will notice as you see me work problems on the board, I tend to move the one with the smaller coefficient because if you do that, you run into less negative numbers. Some people like their variables on the left every time, and then in that case, sometimes you may get a negative. So just be prepared to do whatever feels comfortable with you, but to understand that we'll come to the same answer. So this is 9y plus 12 equals, that ended up looking like 120 equals 30. Now you are right back with what we practiced yesterday, which is a two-step equation. Open the next flap. You're going to see that this is the term we want by itself. What needs to move first? 12. How does it move? By subtracting, by minus. Bring down the 9y equals 18. And then the very last move to solve it, divide by 9 on both sides. And you get 2, right? Okay, which brings us to the very last page, which is check. It says check your answer. Here's what I want you to write on here. For the whole check your answer thing, you're going to enter the left side. Oh, I can't spell. Enter the left side in your calculator. You're going to enter the right side in your calculator, and then you're going to compare. That's how you check your answer. Now I'm going to show you what I mean by enter. We said 2 is the answer. So looking at the left side, in my calculator, I would type 4 parentheses, 2 times 2 plus 3, close parentheses, minus 2 times 2. Then I would hit enter. And you get what? 24. Double check it. Then you repeat with the other side. So you got negative parentheses 3 times 2 minus 1 plus 29. And you would hit enter. And you should get 24. Yeah. So if you get the same answer, then you know you did it right. Which I would encourage you to check that because these are definitely multi-step equations. All right, that was page 6. Pass it to the back. Here comes page 7, which is very short and sweet, just like 6.
There's an extra.
There is?
Yes. No.
Which one? Oh. All right. This paper, I'm more focused on the bottom of it, not really the top. First of all, put your name and then page 7 on it. This paper is to show you that when you're solving equations, doesn't matter if it's 1-step, 2-step, multi-step, when you're solving equations, there's 3 possible scenarios for like when you finish solving it. y'all are used to this scenario right here. That's the one you're used to. You always come to one answer every time. I want you right now to practice with what we've just covered, solving multi-step equations. And I want you to solve this one on your own. You should come down to 4. Now, we are at that point where I can tell you the answer to a problem, but you should still do the work. You know what I mean? Like, if you know the answer, that doesn't mean you don't have to do the problem. You're getting into the more difficult math, and you need to be able to see the answer in front of you, but still do the work and think it through. So filling in the blank at the top, when you have an equation that comes to one solution, it means there is only one number, in this case 4, that can make the equation true. So let's solve it. You would distribute the 2. You do have to kind of watch your writing here because it is crowded. Some people don't like showing every single step and bringing things down. With 1 and 2 step equations, I can kind of forgive not showing every step. When you have a multi-step equation like this, I need to see every step. For example, she didn't get the right answer. She called me over. I looked at it. I knew exactly where she made the mistake. It was just a little sign error, and I only know that because she showed every single step. So if you're one of those that likes to jump from here to here, I can't help you if you mess up, because I have no clue where you messed up. All right, so then we would combine our like terms that are on the same side. So that would be negative 21x, and then bring down the rest. Now we're ready to start moving things to the other side. I personally move variables first. So I'm just going to add 6x over here to the left. I'll change colors so you can see my work. So that is negative 15x, bring down the rest. Then I'm going to subtract 16. So you get negative 15x equals negative 60, and you end up with 4, right? Okay. There's 2 special cases. You don't come to them often because they would be boring if they happened all the time. They only happen every now and then. No solution, infinite solutions. No solution means there is no number that could be plugged in to make it true. Infinite solutions means any number, meaning pick a number, any number, doesn't matter, plug it in, it's true. Which means there's infinitely many solutions. I want you to take this second example and go ahead and distribute the negative 8 and the negative 7, and then start to solve it. Go ahead and start the process. You're going to see something weird happens. It's really crowded when you distribute that negative 8 and negative 7. Apologies for the crowding. Then you can combine the like terms that are on the same side. So those are on the left. Let me change colors. These are on the right. So on the left we get negative 7x plus 48, and on the right we get negative 63 7x. Did you get that? So another aspect of doing well in here is, as I'm working it on the board, you should be working it on your paper without looking yet. You know, don't look and just write. Like, you should try it, and then look up and check as you're going, okay? That's really up to you to do that. And if you do that, it'll help you to be successful in here. Now I'm ready to solve. I've got a like term here. Got a like term here and here that I want to get to the same side. So I'm going to add 7x here to get rid of it. Then I'm going to come over here and balance that by doing the same thing. But what happens? They both end up canceling. Write what's left. You get 48 equals 60, negative 63. That is a statement. So you ask yourself, does 48 equal negative 63? And the answer is no, that's false, which means there is no solution. Now go to the third column, repeat the exact same thing that you started doing. You have to distribute the negative 12. You do have some like terms you could go ahead and combine on the right. Then start to solve it. Something weird is going to happen. She was out yesterday too, wasn't she? I think she was. Okay, as you're starting to solve this, distribute the negative 12. I'm actually going to go ahead and combine these like terms right here and here, because there was nothing to distribute over there, but I could condense that. Okay, now at this point right here, you could actually go ahead and stop if you wanted to. If you recognized it, you could notice to yourself, wait a minute, it's the exact same thing. The left matches the right. Do check the signs though. If they were different, then you would proceed. But the signs are not different, they are identical. So you could jump straight to saying infinite solutions. Now, what if you're just going through the motions and you didn't recognize that they matched? Let's say you started moving the variable to the other side. You end up with negative 36 equals negative 36. So just like right here, that's a statement, and you ask yourself, well, does negative 36 equal negative 36? And the answer is true, which is why it's infinite solutions. Which means any number you pick and plug it in, the left will equal the right. And that's because when you clean up the left and the right, they're the same expression. That's why it's infinite solutions. Now, here's what I need you to do. I need you to pick a partner, any partner. Most of the time, I'm going to pick them for you. So today, you're welcome. Pick your own partner. And then I need one of you to come up here. Once you have a partner, one of you come to me. Is that you two?
Yeah.
One of you come to me. Everybody's got to have a partner. Everybody. There you go. Then go back to your partner and hand one of the sheets to your partner. Does not matter which one you hand over. They're not like one's easy, one's difficult. They're not like that at all. They're exactly the same. Since y'all just sit next to each other. And when I say partner work, it's not necessarily old hands partner work. It's more of you're responsible for answering your partner's question when they say, "What did you get for number one?" I got 4. That's what I mean. I don't know if it's 4, by the way. That's what I mean by partner work. It means you do have to answer your partner when they say, "What did you get on this question?" You can't just say, "No, man, I'm working by myself." You can't do that. Did everyone get one? Okay. So feel free to take off. I will go ahead and let you know one of the problems comes to no solution, and one of the problems comes to infinite solutions. All the rest of them have answers. Okay? This is not due tomorrow. This is going to be due by the middle of class tomorrow. Let me rephrase that. This is not due at the beginning of class tomorrow. It's going to be due by the middle of class. Yes. You'll also have flex. So I would work on it right now. You have 10 minutes. You could possibly get half of it done. Then in flex tomorrow, work on it. Come to class tomorrow, finish it, check with your partner. Then we will have a quiz at the end of class tomorrow over solving 1, 2, and multi-step equations.